Girlfriend, things that make you go, Things that make you go, It's the things that make you go, Oh, yeah. Things that make you go, Yeah. So I don't always play the originals. Sometimes I might sing them. So welcome back. Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully you guys are doing awesome and taking care of yourselves. So today, the reason I'm playing that song, things that make you go, if you're a '90s kid like me, you'd remember that song. It's a great song. So, what the hell did Trump say? He just came out in a press conference today and he said, the government knows what these drones are. They know where they come from. They know where they went. They're not telling people. I don't know why. And then he says they're flying all over Bedminster, New Jersey, and he's like, "Yeah, cancel my trip to Bedminster," and then he kind of like deflects the question, but it's so bizarre because he's the incoming president. He hasn't been briefed yet. Officially as a president, you don't get briefed fully until you take office. They do start to pre-brief you, and so they asked him in this press conference. They said, "Hey, did they brief you?" And he said, "No." Oh no, he didn't say no. I'm sorry. He said, "I can't talk. I can't. I don't want to talk about that right now, or I can't disclose that." So they have briefed him, and so the question is, how much does he know? Is he going to tell us anything when he gets to become president again? Will he be able to? Are they giving him enough rope? Are they giving him enough information? Are they giving him any information really? Or are they giving him disinformation? Right? Because why would anybody? Information is power. So these DOD, these black ops, these whoever's running the show and really is in the know is not going to give the president all the information or give anybody all the information. Now what we do know is this. This is news on the drones. The news is that many people are declaring that they're seeing these drones going after orbs. Now, orbs can be plasma balls, they could be a ship, they could be really anything. But what people are saying is they're orbs. Well, orbs go through history as, even people taking photographs of cemeteries, people seeing orbs in the pictures themselves, claiming that the orbs are spirits. However, in this case, probably not, right? These orbs, I'm seriously doubting this is a Ghostbusters movie, right? Where there's orbs flying all over the place and the drones are ours and they're going up there to see what these spirits are doing. No, no, these orbs are probably, some alien craft or some different dimensional entity that's going on. Now, what's really interesting is we've had a couple of different drone videos that have shown firing drones that are shooting towards the ground. They're firing some weapon, and the heat signature and the energy, and it shows up as red when they're shooting at it, kind of like a TIE fighter shooting, right? Like some lasers. But then we also have seen video of a drone going up to meet an orb that's flying all over the place. The orb is unbelievably maneuverable, just like all of these reports from all these pilots have said. And when this drone went up to go meet it, the orb literally shot this thing down. It just, as soon as the drone came close to it, it just falls out of the sky, and you can see it in the video. It's just falling all the way to the earth. So you have to ask yourself, okay, is this an interdimensional war where these balls are really either an alien ship, an alien entity, or something else that we really don't know about? So an alien ship, it would make sense because a lot of alien ships, when they're flying, they can look like plasma, and that's what happens when you have ships that are flying in the air that are creating their own environment within itself. It's defined the laws of physics. It's basically created almost like its own I don't want to say universe, but its own reality within the ball, right? Now, there's another theory that's been going around called the plasmoid theory. That's the fourth type of matter. right? So we have solid matter, we have gas, and we have liquid, and then the fourth matter is plasmoid. Now I don't want this to get confused with plasmoid entities that we've done podcasts on in the past, but apparently there's some sort of plasmoid reactor that's been activated in New Jersey, and apparently a lot of people are saying that's what these things are after. That they're after some, either information, or that these plasmoid entities are the creation of this plasmoid reactor. Now, I've never really heard about this before. I'd have to do some more digging on it because it's just too far outside of the realm of my knowledge. But I can say that the government has done plenty of crazy shit, especially going back to like the Montauk chair and the Montauk project, where we have, all kinds of reports of, entities being created from people thinking inside of the Montauk chair. If you haven't heard about the Montauk chair, there's plenty of books on it. But it was a project where people were able to increase the potential of their psionic abilities, and then they ended up creating a huge monster that was evil and started destroying shit all over the place. So not good, and so they shut it down. It's kind of like the same theory as Stranger Things. So what else happened, right? So if that's the case, it definitely is possible that these things could be from the reactor. Is it possible that it could be from something else? Sure, 100%. What else could these things be? These things could be from the fourth dimension. They could be a totally different dimension in its own right. Like from another universe. These things could be part of the whole Miami Mall incident. We never got answers to that. It just didn't make any sense. People were talking about it. People were saying they were there. People were saying they saw these entities just come through. I mean, it's not that far of a stretch to say that 2024 has been the year of a lot of discovery of alien entities, ships, drones. You're starting off the year with the whole Miami Mall incident, right? I mean, it just makes sense. So let's look further. Okay, so we have alien ships firing upon each other. We have orbs flying in the sky that apparently are the things that people need to be worried about, not the drones. Maybe that's why the government's saying don't worry about the drones, is because they are theirs, and they are exploring what these orbs are, and everybody's asking about drones versus the orbs. Now, isn't it interesting too that these orbs in recent weeks, and maybe last week, have started to make themselves known, right? We haven't really seen a whole lot about orbs. We've been hearing about drones and pictures of drones. We've seen lots of pictures of drones. They look like solid state objects. But maybe this whole time they've been searching for energy patterns. They've been out there searching for energy patterns. Meanwhile, we're all worried about the drones when we're not in the know. So once we find out that they're out there looking for energy patterns or orbs, now we know, okay, well, maybe they were actually looking for the unseen, what we can't see. We can't see into the infrared, right? We can't see into a lot of the light spectrum, but these drones are capable of that. So if they were looking for something that wasn't there, we would just be claiming that we're just seeing these drones. We're freaking out about these drones. Now, all of a sudden, we're seeing a few orbs start to pop up, and these orbs are a hell of a lot faster than the drones are, and they're able to take down these drones. We've seen one video. I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing more videos of drones being taken down by these orbs. Now, I've seen a couple people say that they're going to send their own drone up. And I've been watching nonstop videos, yeah, so I have tons of info on it. But there was a guy today who's going to shoot up two drones, not shoot at two drones, but he's going to send up two of his own drones, and they were going to, take a look and see what these things are. I don't know if the government said don't do that or not. I know they said don't shoot at them, obviously, but if you're sending up your own drones and looking at them, I've heard people have said that they've had their drones just zapped of power and just fallen out of the sky. We've heard of humongous parking lots filled with cars starting to go on and off with all of the lighting in the parking lots going on, off. We've heard of the car radios going on and off and turning, playing like bizarre sounds out of them, like alien type sounds, which is totally weird. But more than just a few people have said that. And even, if everywhere from like New York to Chicago to LA, there's been places where these weird parking lot things have been going on with cars and energy. People who state that they've been driving past one of these drones, their car turns off, their power turns off, and it's like, what the hell? Like, there's so many reports now that it's insane. And it's insane that like Trump, can come out and he can say, oh yeah, the government knows, but they're not telling the people. He literally said that. He said that. He said the government knows and they're not telling the people. He can't tell us. So who's going to tell us, right? The government does know. They don't want to freak us out, but they're not telling us now. So who do we got to call? Whose manager do we have to call? If the president can't tell us, and the DOD, who has gone on record, they have a press secretary that went on record in front of the press saying that they're not ours, not the military's. Another person posited that they are sanctioned by the government, but they're not actually ours, meaning that they could be like the United Nations drones and not necessarily the United States. Well, do you think the United States is just going to let United Nation drones come on in? No. But they could be sanctioned by the government. So here's a weird theory. What if, there's a sneeze for you, Sam. What if these drones are not the U.S. the actual U.S. government, but actually the secret U.S. government's drones, and they could be sanctioned by our own government, or they could be a private company that we contract with's drone, right? They could be Raytheon's drones, they could be Northrop Grumman, they could be Boeing's drones. So all of these companies could have their own drones. They could not be military drones. They could be the company's drones that we contract with, and therefore they don't have to say they are government drones. See how they can play the word game? We can too. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'd like to hear what you have to say. I only have a few minutes to jump on and kind of throw the information out there, and then we can talk in the comments section of the podcast. And then we can talk about what to cover next, because I'm gonna stay on the drone conversation until this shit dies, because this is the most interesting thing that's happened in ufology since probably the 1980 Rendlesham Forest case, right? I mean, you're talking 45 years of ufology right there. I mean, there's lots of good stuff, but this is something we're living through in the United States, and I know there's people listening in other countries, but this is something we're living through, and this is like an ongoing month-long event, and it doesn't seem to be dying out anytime soon. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. Appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay positive. Stay in the light. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams, and as always, continue to question the universe around you. Until next time, take care. Locked on Universe out. Peace.